Yo, what's going on, people? How are y'all? Glad a couple people are starting to file in here. Uh, I'm not gonna do this from YouTube or from Twitter today. It's only gonna be playback, and I'm only gonna share it in the fan chat. If you're one of the people who have subscribed to kind of like our playback channel and get notifications, we appreciate you. Um, but yeah, real quick, guys. For everybody who's in that fan chat, I need y'all to understand something. That is our family, bro. All right. And we can't be going outside of our family trying to hurt each other. That's not our bag, bro. That's not what we do. All right. We protect each other. And we got to continue with that trend. So whoever had the screenshot and Trilly chat, shame on you, bro. That's all I really got to say. Shame on you, bro. I think a lot of people already said it in the chat, but we've developed kind of like a trust uh within ourselves, bro. Like that's supposed to be a safe space for everybody. You come in there, get your shit off, whatever. Go in that chat, keep it in that chat. Like that's as far as the house cleaning gonna go. But like whoever did that, if you in this, shame on you. Like I'm not gonna go for no witch hunt or nothing like that. But like that shit's fucked up. All right, yeah, Dolphin and Vince love the new profile picture, my brother. It is beautiful. But how
Good
y'all
times,
doing?
you know.
Yeah. And how you doing today, bro?
Man, good. I was just catching up in this fan chat. I had no idea what you were talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanna second what you're saying. I mean, we got a good thing over there and we appreciate everyone in that chat and everything. So keep it clean.
Yeah, just keep it clean. Dolphin, how you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing good, my friend. I'm doing good. I have to laugh a little bit. At the end of the day, it's just Twitter. What are you doing going and hailing the people? That's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. No, for sure, bam, like 1000%, bro. I rock with Trilly too, bro. That's gang, like you know what I'm saying. But it's like you you let that chat be what it is, and you keep our chat what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no beef or nothing with Trilly, nothing like that. It's just we keep our chat to what it is, and then you know what I mean. We let that chat be what it is. We don't want it. We don't need it. Like if somebody come to our space and say something that they don't like about that over there, that shouldn't be making its way back over there. That's not the way we rock. Just like if they say something about what they don't like over here, they say it over there and it stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like let's keep it like that, so that ain't no beef, ain't no animosity, none of that shit. Heather, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
It's fantastic. Chow Su, how are you?
Oh, good. What happens?
Somebody shared a
Well,
screenshot from
I
that.
get
Go ahead, Heather.
I got a little looser lipped in our chat than I normally would if I was in person or in public because that's like family or we just been in there so long. And I shared that I didn't really like that Trilly blasted that Caleb's people were like or somebody was threatening him on Twitter about saying stuff about Caleb, which I agreed that I didn't feel like Trilly said anything wrong in his post about Caleb the player. And I said he was like acting like a narc because he shared it with the public. So then somebody shared it in Trilly's chat. So he called me out in it. So I just said the same thing back to him. I said, look, probably shouldn't have called you a narc. I said, but if it was me and I was the player, I would want to know, did the player even know this was happening before I told the entire world? And I stand by that. I do feel that way. If he don't want to fuck with me after that, that's fine. But it is what it is.
Did they kick you out of the chat?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
And he
I was
kept coming back
wondering
and
too.
asking me what was so wrong about it. And I said, nothing that you said about him prior to that was wrong. And what you want to share is what you want to share. I said, I just felt like if it was me personally, I would want to know before the world knew, just in case I didn't even know my trainer was moving like that. That's just how I would
Oh,
know.
man, that's what you're talking about. It was. I don't think it was Trilly. I don't think it was Caleb's agent. I think it was Caleb's trainer
Yeah,
that was talking the foolishness. Like,
supposedly,
but that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, we're not gonna make this. We're
But
not gonna
no,
make
I
this whole
obviously
space about
wouldn't
that.
have been as loose-lipped as I was if I knew it was
Sure.
going to get back and forth. But I
But
do always
It's
like to
cool.
say,
people around the players have been wilding out on Twitter in the last couple of days. Anyway, so.
Even Jimmy Homeboy going crazy a little bit. I
That
wanted to talk about
that
that son
shit
because
was hilarious. When
brother,
everybody
is
kept saying,
alluding
"Hey,
to
just say Tyler," and he said Tyler. It's
Tyler.
Bam.
Like,
I was like, "Oh no!"
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
bro. Like, that's a little. Yeah. We got you, man. But yeah, that shit was kind of weird, bro. The way people are like taking off, like the fan base is biting each other's heads off about
and
what's going on right
Ethan
now.
doubled down. He was basically he said, I don't really talk to that guy, but like people around Jimmy have said similar things about Bam, which is starting to worry me because you don't want people's friend groups talking about other players on the team like that. That's just and it getting out. He basically said
I'm also
they're
not.
catering to Bam.
Wait.
They treat him like a baby, essentially. Like they're running the
Yeah,
offense
like
through Bam.
hold on. Before we go too much further, I got to make sure I acknowledge my dog. New, how are you doing today?
I'm chilling, man. You know how I do. I live for negativity, so this is hyping me up. It's like, nah.
I just got to make sure I speak to you before we just get into it. I spoke to
Appreciate
everybody else. I'm not
appreciate
gonna let it go like, yeah. Okay, but yeah, bro. Like it's like everybody choosing their target. I listened to Five on the Floor too. I was listening to their latest one where it's kind of. I don't know if it was the latest one. It was Greg and Ethan. It was, but they were going through kind of like the problem. And Greg kind of alluded to it, but he just kind of like took his foot off the gas. Or he was talking about like he feel like it might be time to blow this shit up too. And I was just like, okay. And then he kind of almost said he wanted to trade Tyler, which is what I think he was alluding to, but he never quite got there. I don't know, bro. Like, I just think this team is beyond saving at this point, and nobody should be around here considering like anything dramatic, like anymore.
You know what's funny?
I think everybody's chill. What's up?
You know, it's like I'm starting to come around to that a little bit. Like the idea of trading Tyler at this point, I think it was Threat with the Lowry thing where he was like, "You're putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole." I feel like it's multiple Band-Aids on multiple. Like there is nothing you can do top to bottom salvaging this team, even if you traded Tyler in the fucking event that you traded Tyler for spare parts and role players to build around. I simply cannot see any combination of role players that are out there that you could find that makes this build any more viable as a quote unquote championship contender. I just think it's just bad product. There's nothing you can do. Like I really don't see it. I'm still down for it, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think that I'm in the same. Like, I think people are getting to the point where, well, they are already there. They believe that there's a move that can be made right now that'll kind of pole vault this team into a similar position as last year, where they can be ultra competitive in the playoffs and have a shot against anybody. And I'm with you where I don't think that that's realistic. I don't think that's a real thing. Like the Tyler move, it feels. We was talking about this, bro. Like it feels like everything that we've been trying to do is like a hair late. So like now people are starting like it's not a loud portion, but it's a growing portion of the fan base that's like maybe we should trade Jimmy. Like some people are ready to get off of Bam, but now everybody on the trade Tyler bandwagon. But it feels like we're a tick late, bro. Like, am I tripping? Like,
On the Duncan thing, I think people don't realize like the Duncan resurgence is literally like 17 games this season. Even last year, remember he broke the record, and what did he do immediately after he broke the record? Went and got surgery on his hand and missed like what 2 months, and then like played a little bit in the playoffs. He had like 5 moments, and then he had the thing in the season. I'll be honest, I don't think Duncan's actually changed that much. I think like he's Duncan Robinson. He's going to be Duncan Robinson. So like I don't. The team's just. I said they're the 2018 Cavs. They're just walking to their death, and they can try a major move like the Cavs did, but it's just walking to your death in a different like suit, I guess. Which would be nice if the suit looks good.
But it's like that don't even feel like a good move because at least that Cavs team had LeBron to be able to drag their ass to a finals. Like, why are we trying to do anything around Jimmy? Like, I just don't think that should be the focus of any move going forward. Vince, I think you came off mute real quick, and then like we cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna say no. It feels like we're always late because we are. Like when the James Harden stuff came around, I mean, you heard it in the fan base. It's like, oh no, we should never do it. And then it's like 2 or 3 years later, now people are like, oh man, we should have traded for James Harden. And it's just like, yeah, but we should have done it a long time ago. And like you were saying just now, we shouldn't be. The idea of building around Jimmy is not really to build around Jimmy. It's to get a better superstar player to put as the 1A on the team. That's the build around Jimmy and Bam, to be honest. Because he's just not going to be that guy in the playoffs because his body's not going to hold up well. And the way he plays, it's just hard to play off of him as an individual player. So
That was another thing that I saw, bro. Like it was like everybody asked to be playing one roll up from what they really are, and that shit is kind of like dummying up niggas. It's like it's they asking Jimmy to be a 1 when he's really a 2, asking Bam to be a 2 when he's really a 3.
For
And
God's
they be like, bro,
for God's
what you say, Doctor?
you have Caleb Martin, and I know Heather's in here. For God's sake, you have a guy who's 6'5", banging down low as a power forward, and that you did this last year, and then you did it with Haywood Highsmith, who's another 6'5". Now, not only are you playing them above their level, you're playing them above their level and out of their position. And you've done this for really 2 years. You even did it 3 years ago, 3 years ago with PJ Tucker, but the whole thing with PJ is he always plays a size above how tall he really is. And they're like, okay, now let's do that with Haywood. Let's do that with Caleb. It's like, bro, like in any other team in the league, these are not power forwards. These are fucking shooting guards. And to the point of being late to the party, forward thinking decisions are never met positively. That's why you're like, no matter if like a decision's a good decision, like, oh, like, we came off that guy too early, whatever the case is, it always has to be a decision made too late, because a forward thinking early made decision, there's too much fucking sentimentality with it. And I even saw people, to even Vince's point, like the whole thing about Harden, this, that, and the third. Even with Harden in the beginning of the year, you had fucking people be like, no, you absolutely should not trade for James Harden. I just don't like him. You look at him in fucking LA right now. I mean, he's not what he used to be, but he's provided to be a good shot in the arm for a fucking title contender. And for God's sake, you had people talking about, oh, no James Harden. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Look at your fucking point guard rotation at the time, man. It was Kyle Lowry and Josh Richardson. How can you be in a position to say no to talent?
I'll sue, bro. I think he just called you pussy.
Oh, I'll still say no to James Harden. I know a fraud when I see a fraud. I know he gonna produce in the regular season. That's never been my problem with James Harden. I just know when they come a calling in the playoffs, he's disappearing.
listen, at some point we have to let that go because in the
It's been
second
15
series,
years.
in the second playoff series, Joel Embiid was the one who didn't show up at all. James Harden won 2 games against that Boston Celtics team. It's the reason why it went 7 games. So if
That's
Embiid had
great.
showed up
What
at
did he do in
all,
Game 7?
listen, he should have never gotten to a Game 7. That's the problem. It should have never gotten to that point because the MVP of the league didn't do anything when it mattered most. So that's what's really crazy. Like, we just need something more than the nothing we'll get at the point guard position. He could at least have given us that. We had a finals game where both our backcourt players gave us 0. He could at least get you more than 0. We lost a game by 9 points where our backcourt, so combined, was like 0 for 18. Like, we can get something out of James Harden. And maybe we can skate by and then flame him afterwards. But we can at least get something out of him.
And
He's going to get you some assist.
For what it's worth, too, on the top, look, is James Harden a playoff fraud? I mean, I guess. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I can stomach at least having a playoff fraud there when, by that same token, you got a guy in Jimmy Butler who, by and large, quote unquote, fucking rises to the biggest occasion in the playoffs. Okay, that's fine. Then you know what? I'll have James Harden. If he's going to be a fraud and shit himself, whatever. I at least have fucking playoff riser Jimmy Butler to save the day when this guy inevitably shits himself. Because at least he's giving me some modicum of production. And you've also got Bam there too, who's a quote unquote playoff riser as well. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I can stomach one fraud out of the three of them.
Playoff riser, man. Let's calm down. He did rise last year.
I'm about to say, let's not talk about our best player from the championship run. Like, let's be respectful, Chelsea. Now we're not just gonna get
I just say
completely
playoff.
Championship.
the finals. You know, we was there.
Hey,
Bam
Roy,
playoff riser. I'm still
What's up, Heather?
I just wanted to clarify. Whoever was just speaking, when they said the whole part about Caleb, and I know Heather's in here. I just would like to clarify that I hope that after like 3 years, everybody knows I got no problem, and I think it's completely fair to talk about any player. I don't have problems when people talk about Caleb. So just like with the little thing that happened this morning, I just want to clarify. The only thing I had a problem with is the way I would treat any of y'all and I would want to be treated, which is make sure I know something before you go tell the fucking world if it's something that's gonna make me look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like talking shit about
I ain't
players
gonna
and
lie.
everything. All that shit is fine and normal. Like everybody, he's a player. He deserves it. Like everybody gets that shit. I was looking at it just on a different level. Like if you gonna go tell the world and trash, like can you make sure that the dude knows first that somebody is saying the shit? Like I would want that for myself. So not saying everybody has to agree with me, but that was my only thing. Was that I told him,
So
I said, well, I reached out to Caleb to make sure he knew because if you gonna tell the world, I would want to make sure I knew that shit was happening. I just think that's fair.
so I don't like the fact that we've kind of gotten to a space where people feel like they have to clarify themselves in here. Like,
I
fuck
just don't
other
want
people's
people thinking that
opinion.
I'm like, I can't
Fuck what
handle
they
people
think.
talking shit about Caleb. Like, obviously,
Fuck
we've been doing
what
this
they
for 3 years.
think.
Everybody
Yeah,
should know
thank
that by
you.
now, but
Thank you. But fuck them then, Heather. Like, the people who need to know. Like, fuck them. Like, I don't want to get to that place where we, like, everybody feel like they got to walk on eggshells around this because that's not the way this was built. You say what you got to say, get your shit off, and then we'll move along. Like, whoever don't like it, tell them to fucking deal with it. But also, like, to the Caleb point though that Dolphin was making, yeah, bro. Like we got them playing power forwards, and sometimes that shit do feel unfair to Caleb because you asking him to play power forward, but on the same token, you asking that nigga to guard point guards. Like you're asking him to be your point of attack defense, like while also guard four sometimes and space the corner, but sometimes run the pick and roll. Like I just don't think without like a true number one option, which I don't think Jimmy is. Like without a true number one option, I don't think anybody on this team has a clear cutout role, and that shit is causing confusion from the top down, bro. Like, and it is what it is. Like, I think everybody's pretty clear on that shit by now. What is actually going on with Miami though, bro? Like, I don't know. Just talking about their basketball, bro. Why are they losing so many games like this? Because I can't pick my hand on.
Should.
I feel like too many problems. Huh?
They're not good. Like, and this
That's a
isn't
good
me
reason.
being, this not me being reactionary or nothing. Like, I've been saying all summer since they didn't get named. This is not a good basketball team. Like, listen, Caleb Martin is a cool basketball player. Caleb Martin is the type of player who should be being a Bruce Brown on a team that has a Nikola Jovic, a Jamal Murray, a KCP, a Aaron Gordon. He should be able to come in and be a supplemental piece. He is not the guy you should have to depend on at times. And this is the problem. Like you said, nobody is in their best position on this roster. Not a single person. From Jimmy to freaking Drew Smith, because that nigga shouldn't be on no roster. So if he on a roster, you know your roster ain't in good shape. Like, it's a bad team. I never understood the talk all summer when people were like, man, this is the deepest, best team they've had in the Jimmy era. Like Twan said on stream the other night, it's a bunch of spawns of the same nigga who's not as good as the other nigga. Like, how is this a better team when Haywood Highsmith can't dribble a basketball? He can't. He could defend sometimes. Bro, the nigga shot a shot versus the Knicks. The junk hit the side of the backboard under the rim. I ain't never seen a shot miss the rim that badly. From the top of the key, nigga, like, bro, these are not real players. Like, this whole undrafted hardest work, like, bro, this is it's on Pat, but it's on Spo too. Because I refuse to believe that a coach with Eric Spoelstra's cachet is being told, like, man, these the best players we can get. You gotta just do it. Like, it's no freaking way if Spo didn't want a nigga like Drew Smith on his roster, Drew Smith would be on his roster, dude. Or RJ Hampton. Or like, go ahead, Roy. I see you came off mute.
No, I was because that's to like a point I said. Like I start blaming Spo some when I'm talking about the front office. Like I'm starting to include him in that because he wants that hard road that you're talking about. Like he want Drew Smith, he want Cole Schwider, he want Jamal Kane. Like and I think that's part of like it. First of all, Bam, he talking about new is who they say that I am. she she is quite like she is positive when she see positive stuff. But if she see bullshit, she calls it bullshit. I'm the basement's politician, bro. I'm the nicest, most civil member of the basement. And I don't know why people don't recognize me for that. Just, bro, strictly basketball, bro. What's the Heat's basketball problem? I am also a liar, but I am nicer than all of you hoes.
So the basketball problem is talent. They're not good enough. They're not. They're not. And also like they're too small. Like they're too small. I was saying that in the group chat the other day, in the sense of when homie Jimmy Butler's boy came out and was talking. Like a lot of people took it as, hey, they took it as Bam slander, which I don't fucking understand. It's like when they was reading that, they must have just read the reply and not the actual full context of what the hell was going on. So when like to understand it, you have to understand where he's coming from. The whole overall theme point, like it's the front office and the coaching. When he says the problem ain't going nowhere, is because like Spo has a way that works, and you know how old people are in terms of like when you have a formula that quote unquote works, gets you wins or whatever the case may be. Yeah, you stick to it, and that's what's going on. Like it hasn't resulted to any championships, but it results to competitiveness and tickets being sold, and upstairs is happy. And if upstairs is happy, this is how they gonna roll the ball out on the court. But I'm getting to the point of like y'all might hate me for saying it, but I don't give a fuck. Like in terms of like let's start with Highsmith. Like Highsmith is cool, but the same way you just spoke about Bruce Brown should be the same way we talk about Highsmith. I don't even compare them because Bruce Brown's is levels above. But like Caleb Martin's and the Highsmiths, like it's not players we should rely on. And plus, there is a chance that we're not gonna re-sign these guys anyway. So I'm personally, I don't know about y'all, I'm getting to the point of after reading Jimmy Butler's boyfriend's tweets, because I do think Jimmy Butler might be gay. I mean, this is a side comment. He's kind of fruity. But after reading his boyfriend's tweets, I feel like we should play the young boy out of Serbia because one, he's fucking tall, and niggas ain't about to sit here in front of me and say, "Oh, Caleb Martin's a so much better defender or Highsmith." Nigga, we had to double team. At least I could rely on Jovic. Even if he's getting cooked, he's gonna stand up straight and keep his arm up, not foul, whatever the case may be. And I'm getting to the point of like maybe these guys that we call defenders, we have a defensive specialist. Whenever we have him guarding somebody, we still have to double team. How does that make sense? Like I'm talking about Highsmith. He's supposed to be a defensive specialist, but he's out there and we're double teaming whoever he's guarding. So what's the point of him being on the court? They don't respect the shot. So but you said talk about basketball. Spacing is bad. Like ideally, they asked me what would I do on the court, right? First, I think we're gonna be in this slide up until I think it's gonna go well into the All-Star break. I do think we're gonna rake out a couple victories, maybe three or four. We might go 500 from now until the All-Star break, or maybe slightly below. But We're gonna have to ride this wave, and then I think Spo needs to go in the chamber and then just rethink the whole entire game plan. Rethink the rotations. Once again, Highsmith and Caleb are good, but if your players, bam, saying I'm not a center, I need someone bigger to play next to me. Jimmy's mouthpiece is saying, "Yo, Bam don't want to play center. That's not his role. He's in the wrong position." Right? I think we should go ahead and play Jovic because one, even if he's not as good, which he's not, he's fucking taller, and at least like that's something. Like being tall is a talent, and also he needs to rethink the whole offense. Be a little bit more modern. What do I mean by that? Run some more high pick and rolls. Terry Rozier, right? But the thing is, people say Bam don't roll all the way to the basket. Wanna know why? Because you have Highsmith out there and you have Jimmy out there. Their defenders do not respect them from outside. So Bam cannot roll all the way to the basket. So Jimmy needs to go in the gym, shoot some threes, and actually be respectable out there, like he was like the first 2 weeks of the season, right? And then let's switch out Highsmith and I'll say put in Jovic because even if Jovic doesn't shoot it or he's an okay shooter, but at least he has some playmaking chops in the sense of if you close out, he could drive by you in 2 steps layup. He could dribble, right? So I'll go that way. So he needs to reconfigure the offense and then figure out something defensive, something else defensively because it's not working. Maybe have Bam roam around a little bit more and have Jovic as the back line just to play that drop. I think he got better at that, and I sound crazy advocating for him, but yeah, once again, we're too small. I like that Jay Rich is out the lineup, but I think switch out Highsmith and just play a little bit bigger. Do I think another move is gonna happen? Highly doubt it, but Spo needs to go into the hyperventilation, put him in the chamber and hope for the best. But I'm at the same point I was at last season, at the end of last season, not when the playoffs started and we beat everybody in the sense of like, yo, we could beat anybody, but we could also lose to anybody. And do I feel like this is a better team? I think we have a better team, but that's not the thing. It's not is the team better. The reality is everybody else got so much better to the point that our improvements are very marginal compared to. We actually got worse when we're comparing ourselves to the rest of the league. The rest of the league, especially the top dogs, they all got better. And then it's us, the Warriors, and the fucking Lakers. We just looking around like, yo, he didn't really get better. And all these other dogs are just they out the can on. They ready to go. But yeah, Spo, I just hope he gets in the hyper chamber and figure it out.
So before I address his basketball points, I would like to say that Just the Bless is not a member of the basement yet, but his statements about Jimmy's sexuality do not represent us. We did not say that shit.
Hey,
He, all right, don't pin that on us. We did not say that shit. That man said his own thing. I will not comment on that. Yeah, but to your basketball point, I agree that I think the team size has become a more glaring issue. Never more glaring than it was in that Boston game. Um, like like Kristaps Porzingis literally just stayed. He sat in the middle of that zone that we was trying to play and shot over anybody who tried to like he shot the ball over anybody who tried to contest it. Yeah, bro, y'all laughing, bro. I'm not trying to get canceled for what this nigga just said, bro. Like, God damn, bro. Uh, but yeah, it's more apparent now. Jovic, I'm he's the tallest player that we got to put in a position like that can play, but he ain't it, bro. Like I think they need to make a move via trade and go get a larger human being. But I do also believe that there's some credence to what you're talking about when it comes to Bam not wanting to play the center. You've heard it on multiple platforms. I even heard it like from Udonis. Udonis has said it before. Bam's not a
Bam said it. Bam said it himself. Like UD tried to call him a center, and he said, "Oh yeah, he one of the top 3 centers." And Bam's like, "Nah, nah, nah, Swiss Army knife." He doesn't even want to be called a center himself.
that's that's like the Anthony Davis thing, bro. But I get it though, bro. Like that man is exerting too much energy trying to defend and score on people way taller than him.
And you know the crazy thing about that as well too, all that but all of that banging down low for a big guy, like it's fucking taxing. And especially when you consider he's smaller than a lot of other big guys, like bigger centers. Like it's fucking taxing, and it doesn't shock me that the guy has a recurring hip injury that we've seen this year or last year. And my biggest concern is again all that fucking heat culture shit. You're working the guy into a metaphorical early grave. Like literally, you're playing Bam into an early basketball grave. The more you keep fucking doing that shit. And I think it's evident with how much more often we see him taking that fucking turnaround mid-range jumper. This is a guy's like, bro, I can't. Like, and people always see the statistic of, okay, we reached that midway point of the season where it's January, February, and Bam's numbers start to dip, and then Jimmy's numbers start to ascend. And it's like, what's going on with Bam? It's like, well, dude, if I'm 6'9" in a league of a bunch of other people who are 6'11" to 7'1", and I keep having to fucking deal with them on offense and on defense, trust me, I'm young. Eventually, I'm gonna get fucking tired of doing this, dude. And it plays a fucking toll. And to Jess's point as well about motherfuckers, like, you know, at the end of the day, like people around them have gotten better, which makes when you're stagnant and people around you get better, you inherently have now become worse. It doesn't matter if you don't do anything. It's like they're the wealthiest millionaire in the league. However, all the other people they're trying to reach are billionaires. So like you're trying to go band for band with other billionaires. You might catch one slipping on a bad day when he forgot his fucking wallet. But if he's got his wallet with him and you're both going band for band, eventually your luck is going to wear out. And it's evident when, for example, when they played against the Timberwolves like a month or so ago, and it was super hot shooting, and eventually they started to cool off, and Minnesota fucking caught them. That's like when you see them get on this hot streak, I'm like, eventually it's gonna hit. Or it's gonna hit like a fucking brick when they stop. A team like Boston, when I know they're gonna have a fucking shooting night like they do in the first quarter, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a never-ending barrage. But when it happens with Miami, I'm like, eventually you're gonna wear off, your luck is gonna wear out, and you can no longer go band for these guys, and you're gonna start fucking pulling out fucking government healthcare cards and shit like that, dude. Like you're done. Like you're out of bandwidth to spend.
I ain't gonna lie, Dolphin. You come up with some pretty creative analogies when you're giving your takes, and I think that's cute. I don't know if I should say cute, but that's what I think it is. I think it's nice. This is gonna be a shorter than normal space. Blue, you changed your picture to Kyler Murray. Who's that other man? Is that CD Lamb?
Sir.
Why did you change it to those two losers?
That's crazy. Because it's the off season and my Sooners deserve respect, nigga. That's why.
Not for me, they won't get it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This is gonna be a shorter than normal, kind of like halftime space. Got about 15 more minutes before I close it out. Anybody else had any topics? I know some of y'all just be jumping on stage because y'all ready to join the conversation. Anybody else had anything they want to talk about?
Will Phoenix score over or under 135 points tonight? What's happening?
Over. I think they got Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant all available to them tonight. We're gonna get ran.
Yes.
Yeah, over.
Bro, I just want to know what Jimmy and Spo be talking about because Jimmy coming out today like, no, we need Terry to be that 20-point guy. I'm like, yeah, Jimmy, like that'd be nice, but have you talked to your coach? Have you told your coach that? Because I don't think that's not how, like Spo and Kerr. Like we were shitting on Kerr, bro. Spo a small ball merchant too. That shit worked for him greatly, and he ain't changing his mindset. He's going to live and die by small ball. Everybody wants a bigger center. No, he wants Bam at center because that's his perfect hybrid center who can do the small ball. But if we have to go big, Bam's there. But before we were dealing with Kelly Olynyk and like Myers Leonard, so there was at least a 7-footer on the court. Now we're just down. Like I don't know how we went from Kelly Olynyk to Haywood Highsmith. How he's just gradually thinking this would get better. Or sorry, Kelly Olynyk, Jay Crowder, PJ Tucker, Haywood Highsmith. How you just gradually thought going smaller would be better, but hey.
Because he latches onto whatever works. So like when we were winning with the big three, we were running the small ball thing, and we kind of changed the game up to some extent at that time. So he's been stuck with that because he sees that that's what's won. And then with
But
the PJ
even
Tucker
that,
thing,
LeBron is 6'9", 275. Are you
he's not
really
six
playing small
nine.
ball?
He's like 6'8", but yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, at that time,
Details.
there were people running like true centers, like 7-footers at the time. And so when you had like you have two 7-footers versus like a 6'10" and a 6'8" front court. I mean, in that time period, that was considered small ball. Um, but now we have centers these days. They're like 7'3", 7'4", 7'5", so it just doesn't seem like that. But yeah, also the PJ Tucker thing. When we had that season with PJ Tucker as the 1 seed, that probably left a real big imprint on Spo's mind, and he's like, "All right, this is the new formula that's gonna work and
Fake
be
shooting
competitive
PJ.
in the league." Yeah,
The guy who couldn't
and
hit a
so
corner three and got taken off the
yeah,
court.
Hey,
'Cause
It was starting that nigga. What's up,
that
man?
if
Robert Williams, that he got Robert Williams paid for three because of that 3 game stretch where he didn't have to guard him.
mm,
hey, y'all talk about the Celtics. I don't care about that. Just looking at them tweets from Jimmy's homeboy, yeah, please get Jimmy Butler off my team, dog. Please, please. Like
And Jimmy talks to his friends. Like it's not like
send
Jimmy
that nigga
hasn't
to
said
Nova
this probably.
Scotia. I don't care where Jimmy Butler's playing basketball. Like the nigga used usage rate as an indicator of Bam being the golden boy, as if his usage is not going to be higher because Jimmy hasn't played half the season.
yeah,
Like, bro, we saw your man's disappear in the playoffs after the New York series last year. We saw it. And
But
anybody else find it interesting that he's talking now that the attention has been put on Jimmy for the Heat struggles? Nigga ain't had a word to say about Bam this whole time, but the fan base and the media are finally pulling Jimmy's card about the disappearing act he does during the regular season as the Heat struggle, and now all of a sudden he got so much to say about Bam. It's quite
yeah,
interesting to me. And
so
I don't even think Bam is having some great season. The nigga been extra mid during this losing streak. But get the hell out of my face, dude. Please.
that reply, he was actually talking. He was replying to somebody trying to say, "Yo, Bam don't really be getting the ball like that," and nigga was like, "That's cap." He wasn't like shitting on Bam. He was basically saying, "You can't say Bam don't get the ball when he clearly is getting the ball." And then he highlighted later, like he doesn't have a problem with Bam. He has a problem with the way Bam is being used, in the sense of like they're basically making him or forcing him to be something he's not. And I feel like we all could relate to that. Like, yeah, this he's playing good, whatever his numbers are, whatever. But at the end of the day, like when you just read it and as the reply itself, it sounds like he's sitting on Bam, like, well, he does all this, that. Nah, in reality, he was replying to somebody who's trying to say Bam don't get the
Man, I
ball,
don't
Bam
care
don't
about
get
that.
the
The
ball.
nigga profile picture is him with the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and a hat on. Like he contributed 1 second to the team. Like nigga said, like this is why I
Yeah,
hate
I guess
friends of
pleasing Jimmy is,
I
let me
hate
stop. Let me stop.
friends of celebrities, dude. Like, cause you speaking for your mans. Cause let's be clear, if Jimmy didn't like this, the stuff would be deleted, dude. Like, period. It wouldn't get out. Like, you think all LeBron homeboys don't be having issues with the way AD and all them other niggas play at times, but you don't see none of his friends on Twitter. Like, that's whack, bro. Like, but you know what? This is what the Miami Heat fan base deserves for the way they've been on their knees for Jimmy Butler since he got to this team. This, like, bro, y'all have treated this man like y'all savior since he got here because he's hung a couple Eastern Conference Finals banners. Y'all have made him above reproach. Y'all have acted like you say one bad word about Jimmy Butler and you should be banished. And now this is what you get. This is what you get. Bam is gonna be gone in a couple seasons. Jimmy's gonna be old and retired, and y'all are gonna be stuck with the ghost of Tyler Hero. Be prepared.
Brother, yo, I would be a football only fan. I
The
would.
Royal, the
I was talking about the
streams,
Atlanta Hawks. Huh?
the
The streams,
streams.
brother. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret that most of the basement members know. Brother, the Heat. I will be retiring from streaming the season that I'm turning 40. Like I'm 36 right now. Y'all niggas got 4 years max with me
It's Tyler
doing
Hero's
any type of
prime, bro.
content.
You have to keep going.
Brother, I'm
Supermax
gonna be
extension.
I'm gonna be off of Twitter. Brother, I would just be watching. I'm not gonna be saying shit, bro. That shit. I feel like I feel like you can get too old for this game, and it's like I don't want to stand in too many niggas' ways. Like I like when people build shit, so I'm gonna let them build their shit. And I'm gonna get on out the way.
If Cam Whitmore was on this team, Royal would have had the Greg Popovich extension. He's like, I have a new life.
I would have been revitalized, but brother, I just don't foresee like an out to this. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this whole situation and what it's leading up to is gonna be the perfect excuse for me to get the fuck on. Like, because I agree.
I think Pat Riley's
Oh,
going to retire, bro. I think people talking about the next build. It keep looking at me every time they pan over to him. It looking to me like that dude's like, I'm like the Magic Johnson meme. I won't be here because they keep
Brother
talking about
Chausu,
Andy's
let
doing
me
all the
tell you
calls
something.
and stuff that like Pat's not even
Pat
doing his
will
job anymore. He's just there.
Pat is going to die in the chair, bro.
But he's
Pat
I
is
doing the
going
mean,
to
work.
die in that chair.
Everything they say is basically that he doesn't really do. They say like he lays out the plan, and Andy goes and talks to everybody. And you're not really you're just telling him, "Hey, man, like make the team better." And Andy's like, yeah, "Okay." And then Pat just goes into the game.
It's also like Pat is still their like shield for everybody else because he has the title. So you attribute everything that the front office does to Pat and his fucking plan. The fan base won't be able to change until they don't have Riley to rely on anymore. Like that comfort level that they have with Riley, I don't think. Yeah, they have it for Andy Ellisberg, but only when it comes to like numbers. Like you ain't got confidence in Pat with player relations and just like general GM savvy, even though he might have been doing the job for the past 10 years or whatever. I just think that Pat's image is like glue holding a lot of that shit together. And when he inevitably gets up out of there, I think all that shit gonna come crumbling down. Like in the eyes of the fan base. Maybe not organization wide, but like in the eyes of the fan base, I feel like a lot of them are gonna lose this like I don't know, adamant faith that they have in these niggas to fix this shit. I don't think they're gonna fix it though, bro. I think this shit is like a warning sign. Like we are headed for some dark days in terms of the Miami Heat, bro. And I personally don't want to be around for it.
The Miami Hawks. Next to
that's what I was warning, man. I feel like Tyler Hero might be the last man standing, which is just an insane idea to try and think about. But we're not gonna ever like commit to the tank, especially with Spo as our coach, and we're not gonna ever make moves with Mickey as our GM. And since they extended Spo and Mickey's not going anywhere, congratulations, we're now in purgatory.
Y'all think y'all got like I understand that we're talking about his mans, and I think Lou believes it more earnestly than I know than a lot of people. Y'all think it's any credibility to like this Jimmy Bam beef? Like y'all think that's real, or y'all think it's just like the homeboys thing?
I don't think it's a beef. I just don't think Jimmy really. I don't think they care for each other like that. And I think like
Yeah.
after 5 years, Royal, if you don't really like someone like that, sometimes you talking to your friends, you're like, man, Smoke love that nigga Bam. Like, I'm trying to get involved, but they just running this up for Bam, and then they friends take that, and it slowly build up, and then someone says something, and now it may turn into a beef because now you Bam kind of have to